Hello, 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 and welcome to the very first of those videos, I suppose, highly educational nail tutorials. No, just kidding. I'm a beginner. This is the first episode. It's called Long, Dangerous, and Nude because I'm doing crazy stuff with my nails. Well, basically, so I decided I really need to pick up a new hobby. And I bought myself a bunch of gel nail equipment. So I'm teaching myself, I'm learning on the go, and I'm taking you along with it. So very first step, I took like a metal scraper thingy, and I just scraped back the skin on my nails. So I don't know if it has a name, the skin on the nail. Anyway. Works a lot better if you soak your nails before, like I did. Then it scrapes back really quite nicely, and then you just gotta cut it off. Be careful that you don't nip yourself, which is what I did on my other hand. So yeah, I'm still going strong, being good about it. It was so satisfying to like get rid of the skin. I don't know, especially like, on that finger specifically. So satisfying. Such a huge chunk of skin. It was marvelous, truly marvelous. So yeah, and then I went ahead on the other hand, scraped it back as well, and then went ahead and clipped it off. You really, you want to be careful to not nip off too much, but also at the same time, you shouldn't skip this step because it basically makes your manicure last longer. Just because basically you can start further back, so when it grows out, it won't look like it for like at least a little while. This is what my fingers look like after these steps. And then I was just buffing the top of the nail. You basically just want to do that to make everything else stick better. Just roughen up the nail a little bit. Yeah. And then you take your primer and you just put that onto all nails, just to get them ready for the first layer of gel. And then we're already starting with that. So yeah, it's just a base gel. It has sort of like a thinner viscosity than like the builder gel, and also I think maybe similar to the color gels, but like the top gel also has a like thicker viscosity. So it was interesting to work with all of them for the first time. I think for the base gel, it's truly like a super thin layer is enough. I'm not sure. I mean, doing this for the first time, so I don't know, but I think so. I feel like 85% sure about it, so just trust me. after each layer of gel, you gotta cure your nails. I cured them always for 2 minutes. Yeah, and then I was putting on the stickers. So basically, this is me doing my second hand. The reason I put that in front of the other hand is because I did a bunch of mistakes with the first hand. Who would have thought? So we're gonna watch me do my second hand. Do a somewhat good job at it, and then we gonna watch what I did wrong with the first hand. Anyway, so when you put on the stickers, like stick them together in the very front of them and like attach them to your nail, like really push them in under your nail, like make sure they fit like really snug and like directly under the nail. Just so you can get nice results. Also make sure the lines are nice and straight. It's not dipping down or up too much, because this is just going to be the basis of the whole manicure, so really take your time with it. And then with the building gel, it was interesting to work with. You can't really brush it on. I'm brushing it on here now. But if you want to build the gel, you sort of need to like dab it on. And it was so strange, like the way it was moving around. It was truly a bit weird. It definitely takes some getting used to work with it, but it was getting better somehow, a little bit maybe. Yeah, sure. But yeah, I was going to the medium length line, so it was, I don't know, whenever I decide for a length, usually after I regret, because I would have liked it to be longer, but I think I actually did a good pick. But I don't know, I think one day I will go all the way to the top. I just want to try it out. I think it would be so much fun, and you feel so extra with it, like it's just, yeah, love it, absolutely love it. Anyway, I did a layer of the building gel and it was still like super thin, so I did another layer of the building gel. So this is what I was saying, like you can't, if you brush it on, it turns out super thin, but it's like the basis of your whole nail, so it's got to be a bit thicker. And I couldn't really figure out how, like not in the beginning, how to put it on like in a way where it gets thicker. Like obviously not super thick, you don't want it to look just bad, but I don't know, you gotta get some structure in there. Also, what I should have definitely done is to use like a pinching tweezer. So when you do the first layer of the building gel, you only put it under the UV light for like 10 seconds. And then you take them out again and you get your pinching tweezers ready. I've actually got them. I was just a little bit too intimidated to use them. But I think next time I will do it. And then you just like squeeze the nails from both sides to give it more of a curve, and that basically gives it more stability. So yeah, next time I'm gonna get long nails, I will not skip this step. Definitely not skip it. And then it was time to remove the stickers. Removing the stickers is super fun. Like, you get to see how the nail turned out, if it's working or if it's not working. It was, it was great. I love this step. I really love it. And here my whole nail come off, so we're gonna do that one again. And then that nail, the tip broke off, so we will have to go back in there as well. But hey, we're here to learn. I think we're the one where the whole nail broke off. I think the sticker was just not sitting close enough under the nail. And then for the other one, I think the very tip was just super thin, like it was too thin to just stay. So yeah, make him a tiny bit thicker. Here I was just comparing lengths. You just kind of want to make sure that they're all similar lengths. Usually I would compare one hand, like the same fingers from one hand to the other hand, as well as make sure that all the fingers on one hand are roughly the same length. And then I was just going back in for like basically a third layer of the building gel, because some of the nails still did like a little bit of a dip or was looking kind of strange. So I just wanted to even it out a bit, make sure that it's like flat and without gaps or like valleys. So yeah, little valleys on my nail. Yeah, and then I just went in with a cleaner to remove the layer of sweat. And then I went on to file them into shape. This is just a stiletto shape. And then I also filed the top of it a little bit just to make it smooth, make it even, and so on. For some reason I really enjoyed the sound of like this sped up filing, so go ahead and enjoy this. And then I just brushed the nails off to get rid of all the dust and put another layer of primer on there to prepare the nails for the first layer of color. I used a much smaller brush on the right hand compared to the brush I used on the left hand. You're gonna see why later, but it was good to work with. Even though I was getting on a thinner coat of paint, it was easier to work around the edges, and so I was preparing to do more layers, to do more curing in between, but it was worth it. I think it was more, the results were a bit nicer. Come on with the come on, get down with the get down. Come on with the come on, get down with the get down. Come on with the come on, get down with the get down. Come on with the come on, get down with the get down. Come on and get down with that artifact sound. What kids get wrecking, the beats bounce a pound. We're strolling through the industry, BC, we gotta be the next shit. Jack kicks cause brothers ain't got it. In this rap shit, ain't no time for the dilly-dally pally. Throw a match in the gasoline alley. Blew up mad spots. Kids was jealous for the props. See the shit never stops. Hops just looking for my deals, not styles we make. Never think
broke breaks in every crate. Old freestyles and dirty ass copied over tapes. Notify that the artifacts never slack while cruisers on stage whack. We just play.
So yeah, then I did the second coat of paint.
So never pay dues, watch it for I get ya. Cause nowadays it's the ways of the underground, but they're whack now. So come on with the get down. Come on with the come on, get down with the get down.
And then I went back in with a bigger brush just to get like a thicker layer basically, and went in for the third coat. Most colors should give you full coverage after just two coat of paint. But yeah, it was not quite working, at least not on the right hand. I actually did it with 2 coats of paint on the left hand, but I think because of the smaller brush it didn't really work. And then for the final step I was going back in with the top gel, and yeah, just to smooth it out, you know, just to make it shiny, to seal everything in. And then I cured that for 2 minutes.
Sucker duck buck, the track's rough enough to prove a point that the niggas is the joint. Magazines we were seeing, now pop the tape in your deck. I got the heavy ammunition cause I'm flexy with the tech. Niggas can't believe the artifacts achieved. Got tricks up my sleeves, so bow down on your knees. Yo, we ain't got the same lane, ordinary plain game. Put the shame in the crew who wants to feel the blame. So please submission to the rap recognition. My right hand is itching from the shit.
Then I took the cleaner again and I wiped off the very top of my nails. And the first mistake I did was not putting my brushes into the cleaner, but rather putting the cleaner onto the little cotton swab and just wiping my brushes. But you gotta fully submerge them, like the bristles, in the cleaner to like properly get rid of all the gels. Second mistake I did was just to not properly fit the stickers. Like you gotta tweeze them together before you put them on your nail. Just the tip of it, make sure it like all the way to the top it sticks, and really make sure it's directly under your nail. Like it just really needs to sit in between your finger and your nail. Just stick it in as deep as it will go. And then for the building gel, I was putting it too close to my finger. So you want to leave just the tiniest bit of the gap. Otherwise, it looks very strange. Like when there's no gap and it just looks like it's growing just like that out of your finger. It looks weird. Just don't do it. Leave a tiny bit of a gap. Don't be like me. And then also figure out how to basically not brush it on, but rather dab it on and move it around on the nail so that it stays in the place where you want it to be. Now that I'm looking at that, I'm also thinking I should have used a much smaller brush. And I went in here as well for like multiple layers of the building gel because it was just too thin. And also the final result, it turned out a little bit too thin, especially for the length, I think. But here all of the stickers came off without a problem, but you can see there's a bit of a dip just where my nail ends and the extension starts. So yeah, I think with this one you can see it very nicely how it's just curving in the strangest way. And then also how the gel is sort of just moving around on the nail, but you can't really, well, you just gotta move it around. You can't really spread it out. So yeah, these were already after the filing, and then I was adding the color, and as you can see, especially on my ring finger, I was going way too far back. Like, again, I was not leaving the gap between the finger and the nail. And there I also had too much color on the brush. As you can see, I'm using the bigger brush, so it was harder to do it. And so I would recommend using the smaller brush. And definitely not starting too far back. However, I was very pleased with the shape, like from both hands, just the shape, like generally speaking, the sharpness of the pointy part, it was just, I loved it. And yeah, these are the final results. I kind of want to say not too shabby for the first time. They're all the same lengths, more or less, so that was a success. But you can definitely see my left hand is a bit wonky, and the right hand is sort of better. Like it looks kind of even. I still could have worked a bit cleaner, but yeah, with the left hand you can really see the dips in the nail. But yeah, not too bad. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.